Hello everyone, welcome to episode 87 of the Survival Series. So, last episode we built this place, and yes, it is intentionally raining, because I've been wanting to do this for a while. So, I'm just gonna fly around with my Riptide Trident to showcase what we built last episode. So we pretty much built out this entire interior, or exterior actually, of the Sky Village. So now it's pretty much a fully functioning village, assuming that there were actually villagers to kind of inhabit this place. So there we go. We now have pretty much a fully functional village, and we're not gonna get the villagers in right now. In fact, we're not gonna do that this episode at all. This episode, we're actually gonna return to the mansion because it's time to do a long-standing project that is it's been overdue for far too long, and whoopsie, there's a creeper. And now, before we begin with the plan for this episode, let's get a haiku and a limerick. So here we go. Here is the limerick for this episode. So here is our haiku. Writing a poem, 17 is not enough. Who came up with this? Okay. I'm not sure what exactly that haiku is referencing, but okay. Next up, the limerick. The limerick's actually one of my favorites. Our limerick for this episode is, I'm really determined and keen, or does gravity miss things so small? Anything that he can, he won't give you up, whose limerick stopped at line 2. Wow, that is really badly misarranged. Yowza. Okay. I know for sure that this comes from a limerick where this piece of paper is supposed to go in the middle. And these two are supposed to be rearranged. Oh my goodness, how long has this been going on? So the last few episodes have been rather short, and that's actually partly intentional. I'm thinking do some shorter episodes before we get to the final 10 episodes of the series. So, in the spirit of short, small projects, I think in this episode we should focus on this forgotten room, the bedroom. Now, I already have a bedroom well, it's not exactly a bedroom, that's the kind of central control area where I have all the precious resources. It's where I keep it's also where I have direct access to the bulk storage room. Although, it'd be nice to have my own bedroom. After all, I live in a giant mansion. So, I think I should have a proper bedroom. So this private bedroom is also going to have direct access to the item revival system that I constructed a couple episodes ago. In fact, the chute for it is right down here. So I'm thinking I could have perhaps some sort of secret entrance to kind of launch me out of the window or something. I think that'd be cool. But first things first, just as with every single interior of other rooms, see, I don't tear out the original decorations of the Woodland Mansion before... I don't do that right away for all the rooms because some of these rooms I haven't gotten around to decorating the interiors of, and I'd prefer if it actually looked good while I was waiting for some ideas. So here we go, ripping out all the previous interior decorations of this bedroom, this 3-bed bedroom, and now we're gonna put on our interior design hats and figure something out with this bedroom. So here's the interior of the bedroom at the moment. So here's my idea. This right here is a lamp. So that's kind of what I'm trying to go for here. Although I think that is more convincing of a lamp. Something like this. There we go. Yeah, that's a better looking lamp. So I really don't know what I'm doing with interior design, but I am quite enjoying this process. So yeah, hey, that actually looks kind of good. So we have a lamp here. I'm thinking so this is kind of the nightstand. So let's see. I'm thinking maybe having a bookshelf right next to the nightstand, because in my actual real-life house, I do have books next to my nightstand, because I like to read before I go to sleep. So maybe I can have a couple bookshelves next to the bed, or next to this nightstand. Over here, I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to put a clock on some sort of alarm clock. What was I thinking? People don't use alarm clocks anymore. Jeez. That's what phones are for. Yeah, here's my phone. It's an Apple phone. Get it? Okay. I was considering maybe figuring out how to do some sort of... make it look like I have a power cord to, plug in the phone, but I'm not sure how to do that. So far, so good. We have an actual functioning bed. We got a nightstand, a bookshelf, and a phone. So here's what I'm thinking next. I sectioned off this part of the room because this is going to be the entrance to the drop where I can recover items, and I think the way to actually get into this area, we're going to have some sort of super secret entrance where... Ooh, here's an idea. Jungle buttons. Because these are a thing now. And if you're standing far away, you can't tell where that button is. Can you see it? I sure can't. But I can walk up to this, make a James Bondy entrance to this room here, where I can either drop into the item restoration area, or I can maybe have a super secret elevator going up and down to the first and second floor. Because having a bedroom on the second floor is actually super inconvenient. Since pretty much everything that I do in the mansion or anywhere at all related to the mansion, everything is on the first floor. So I think having a secret elevator going to the first floor would be a good solution. You know that whole putting on the interior design hat? I think mine is crooked. Because I've immediately started going into redstone. So I've moved the nightstand and also the bookshelf a little bit farther back. And the reason for this is because in order to have a truly kind of James Bond style entrance, you gotta be super sneaky about it. And by sneaky, I mean crouchy. Check this out. So trapdoors closing on you will basically compress you into one block. Which means from here, I can then press this button, and that essentially opens a 1-block jeb door, which I can then slide through, and that will allow me to gain access to this part here. So let's see. We have a super secret James Bond entrance. Now we also need a super secret James Bond exit. So let's see. There really is no reason to go back into the bedroom. And if I absolutely need to, I can always just walk around the mansion. And so, let's see. I think it would actually be a better idea to, rather than making a separate... I'm thinking actually putting in an elevator in, like, the corner of the mansion here. Let's see. If I dig out part of this corner, where does this lead? As soon as the lag fest ends. Aha! It leads directly to this hallway. I could put like some sort of, maybe a scaffolding-based elevator. I think for now that'd be a nice and simple solution. Yeah, except there's redstone all over the place. There we go. A nice scaffolding elevator going right up to the 2nd floor. So I can just hitch a ride up the scaffolding to the 2nd floor. So that's actually kind of cool. Just all you gotta do is just walk in and then hold shift to go up or down, or space to go up. That's actually pretty cool. Scaffolding is a cool block, and especially since I now have shulker boxes full of bamboo and an endless supply, that's actually quite perfect. So let's see. I suppose at this point I can just close this wall off, and that way this can be 2 totally separate rooms. And now we can put in some more James Bond inspired secret entrances. So there we go. The wall is blocked off. And now, I suppose at this point, I'd be the secret entrance man. Secret entrance man. Sorry, not sorry. So the idea in this kind of secret area of the bedroom, the whole idea is that I'm going to be crawling around no matter where I go. So the exception to that is going to be this area where essentially I'm going to be launched out of the actual mansion and directly down into that hole. At least that's the plan. So if all goes to plan, I'm going to end up in that hole. And actually, let me just real quick cover up that hole because I don't want to actually totally drop down just yet. So let's see. Let's do some cobblestone right there. Okay, so if this whole thing actually succeeds, I'm gonna land right on this cobblestone. So this slime block is gonna shove me along this ice pathway and hopefully land on. Whoa. Okay, slime blocks are really, really powerful. So here's a super crazy, well, not that crazy, redstone contraption that will essentially throw me out of the mansion. So, at the press of a button, the door will open and the slime block will push me out. So, that's the system, and bizarrely enough, the redstone timing is just perfect, where the slime block retracts after these blocks extend out, except the slime block doesn't have a chance to latch onto this block. So, it's kind of insane. But check this out. All I have to do is kind of rub up against the slime block, and boom. Okay, why did that throw me way farther than all my tests? Alright, so here's how the system is supposed to work. So let's assume... Actually, I don't need to assume that. I can just use the super crazy awesome James Bond entrance. So, I'm now crouching underneath the 1-block space here, and this is why I have the trapdoor here so I can do some work. And now, if I want to leave the mansion, like go get my items revived, I can just crawl up into here, gonna push against the slime block and press the button. Or not. Why is that not working? That's weird. Maybe the glazed terracotta's messing with things? It worked before. And now, weird mechanics with Javamonk. So, it turns out that slime blocks don't launch you out if there's a block on top of the slime block. Weird, isn't it? So, the player's 2 blocks tall, and if I press this button, then I get launched straight out of the mansion, and at very high speeds as well. I meant the slime block launches you out right on top of the cobblestone exactly as planned. So, whoa. Here's a weird thing. If there's a block, if there's like a glazed terracotta block on top of the slime block, then it makes you crouch underneath the block, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, there's nothing necessarily preventing the player from moving, so there's no reason for the player to go crouching under one block. It makes no sense. And this is the view of the ejection system from the outside of the mansion, viewed from the camera account. There's nothing weird going on here. It's not like there's a weird two block hole in the wall. Yeah. The thing is, the redstone is kind of tight packed in here, and it works on such a tight timer that I'm not sure if I can actually make a proper jeb door work. Yeah, and actually it's impossible to put a jeb door in here because I can make a jeb door. You can make a jeb door with slime blocks, except then it'd be tugging around pieces of the mansion, and so either I'm gonna have to make some glazed terracotta visible from the outside, which I'm not a fan of, or it's gonna be directly messing with the slime block, with this slime block here, which I am really not a fan of messing around with. So there we go. That's the system right there. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see this redstone that I just now put in, partly because it's looping in and out of weird places in the mansion, and also the other part of the reason is because this is supposed to be secret, so it's very difficult to showcase. But also, it's really laggy for some reason. But anyways, as I'm ducked down in here, I have 2 different places I could go. I can either press this button to drop myself back down to the first floor of the mansion, or I can run into here and press the button that'll take me to the item revival system. So let's real quick press the button that leads to the mansion. So what happens is this thing actually comes. So what I just did there was I essentially built a vertical jeb door. You know what? I'm gonna hop onto the camera account. This is quite possibly the most tight-knit redstone contraption I have ever built, because it loops around through the slime block landing pad. It loops around. I had to dig into the mushroom farm a little bit in here. I hope it doesn't mess with the mushroom farm too much. But the whole idea is that it opens up essentially a vertical jeb door. And so this piston retracts, which would then allow me to hop onto this block. Now, I replaced this block in the ceiling with a slab because, well, with the addition of the ability to crouch down into 1 block spaces, you can now actually sneak under 1.5 block spaces. So I sneak into the 1.5 block space between the block I'm standing on and the slab, and then I just drop down onto the first floor. So that's my entrance from the bedroom to basically back to the first floor of the mansion. So there we go, a red herring, composter with a trapdoor on top. Because, interestingly enough, you can actually, if you hop inside a composter, like, not like that. Okay, maybe if I turn around, it's not going to be as laggy. There we go. So, I just gotta slip inside this composter. There we go, just like that. And then close the trapdoor, and I'm now inside a composter. Ta-da! It's hard to see. But I'm inside the composter. And this is actually the start of quite a few secret entrances. Now, there is no secret entrance using that composter. Instead, it's using the same trapdoor mechanic, but with a nightlight. So, boom. And then there's a secret jungle button right there. So at that... Whoops. Okay. That was a botched attempt. So press the jungle button, hold backwards, and then close the trapdoor as I crouch backwards. And now I have two options. I can either go to the left and eject myself. I should put a sign like right here at this junction. So I can either go left and go to the and get ejected to the item revival system, or I can go to the right. Or I can go to the right and press this button and send myself down to the first floor of the mansion. So I'm going to send myself to the first floor of the mansion. Just like so. So this has got to be quick, because otherwise you're gonna get suffocated. So there we go. There is the... Ooh, actually, the pistons are briefly set where it's before it suffocates you. So maybe instead of having a slab up at the ceiling here, I can place the stair back in, and this way I can take advantage of that very brief moment when I'm in the crouching position. There's a 50-50 chance that I get myself trapped in that this is either the coolest exit in the world, or I get myself trapped in the wall. Here we go. I'm gonna press the button and then crouch my way over to here, and then I guess sprinting. Hey, that actually works. Okay, and now it's totally hidden. So there we go. That is now the secret entrance and secret exit from the bedroom down to the first floor. And now, there is absolutely no reason to keep this bed around here. No reason whatsoever. Gone. No more bed. Alright. Maybe I could use this bed for villagers or something. I don't know. So there we go. That is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please let me know. And I'll see you next time.